I've got some stuff to get off my chest. The NFL Hall of Fame finalists were announced yesterday. And among other finalists, Terrell Owens, Kurt Warner, Terrell Davis. They are, in fact, finalists for the Hall of Fame. Well, I've got some strong takes on why these guys absolutely positively must be in the Hall of Fame. Let's start with T.O. Now, T.O. was a bad teammate, a malcontent, a distraction. Terrell Owens was an all-time great wide receiver. What he did in San Francisco, Dallas, Philadelphia, 15 dynamic years. I thought he was a better player than Randy Moss. He might be the only player in NFL history who gets into the Hall of Fame and nobody shows up at his induction ceremony. Jeff Garcia's not walking through that door. Tony Romo, Bill Parcells aren't walking through that door. Andy Reid's not walking through that door. Might be the only person who doesn't have a teammate come to support him, but he's a Hall of Famer. Here's the other thing. Let's remember the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. This guy was tough. He was sleeping in the hyperbaric chamber, getting ready for the Super Bowl. He was phenomenal in that game. He played through injury. T.O., unlikable. One of the most unlikable players I've ever seen in the NFL. Unequivocally a Hall of Famer. You got to take the personal feelings and put them aside. I also think that when you look at the career of Kurt Warner, you can't tell the NFL story without talking about Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner is one of the great Horatio Alger rags to riches stories in the history of sports. He won the MVP a couple times. Have to remember how dynamic that offense was with the St. Louis Rams. He won a Super Bowl, was a league MVP, and remember his rebirth with the Arizona Cardinals after he was Eli Manning's backup, after he started that 2004 season, and then Eli became the starter in the second half of his rookie campaign. Took the Arizona Cardinals to the Super Bowl. You can't tell the NFL story without Kurt Warner. He is, in my opinion, an all-time great. There are two levels to the Hall of Fame. You want to tell me he's here? Sure, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. And Terrell Davis is a Hall of Famer, okay? Here's the thing. People talk about the number next to career, 7. All right, it was a career derailed by injury. But here's what needs to be stressed, and the numbers are amazing. 2-time Super Bowl champion. Because when I start talking about best quarterbacks in NFL history, John Elway is in my top 5. And John Elway, who went to 5 Super Bowls, won those final Super Bowls with Terrell Davis as his running back. Thus, you can't tell the John Elway story without Terrell Davis. He absolutely is part of the greatness of NFL history. He was a phenomenal player on phenomenal historic teams. He was the reason why John Elway won Super Bowls. And a name that was missing from the finalist list that really bothered me, Hines Ward, okay? Hines Ward, to me, is a Hall of Famer. It's just wrong. He should have absolutely, positively, unequivocally been a finalist. Let me say this, and I know some people are going to get angry. Hines Ward is the best receiver in Pittsburgh Steelers history. Better than Stallworth, better than Swan. Feel, numbers, I favor Hines Ward. Also remember, Bill Cowher's teams run first. He was an amazing blocker. Absolutely, he belongs in the Hall of Fame.